Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jocelyn, and for today's topic, I'm going to provide you the latest travel restrictions in the Philippines. But before we get started, please like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. Finally, Philippines has decided to move on to pandemic era travel restrictions. This is great news for all travelers, especially for those unvaccinated passengers. Philippines is moving forward from the pandemic restrictions, and they have decided to lift the indoor mask mandate. In addition, unvaccinated passengers can enter with a 24-hour negative antigen test prior to departure or upon arrival in the Philippines. However, there are specific requirements for the negative antigen test. In addition, the EARRIVAL card is no longer mandatory, so you can still fill it out once you arrive in the Philippines. This means that you no longer need to present the EARRIVAL card barcode before boarding or upon arrival in the Philippines. So this is only optional for all passengers. If you are an unvaccinated passenger, you must first have a negative antigen test taken within 24 hours prior to departure from country of origin. There are exceptions for passengers who don't need to take a negative antigen test, and I will discuss this later in this video. Also, you must confirm with the airline and layover country if they are accepting unvaccinated passengers. So still, you must confirm with the airline. Here are the specific requirements for the negative antigen test for unvaccinated passengers, and this is based on IATF resolution number 168. So the requirement is that either you must have a remotely supervised or laboratory-based rapid antigen negative test result, and this antigen test must be administered and certified by a healthcare facility, laboratory, clinic, or pharmacy or similar establishment. Also, the negative test must be taken within 24 hours prior to the date and time of departure from the country of origin or first port of embarkation in a continuous travel to Philippines, excluding layovers, provided that he or she has not left the airport premises or has not been admitted into another country during such layover. Here are the possible passengers who will need to present a negative antigen test. First, if you are unvaccinated. Also, if you are partially vaccinated, or if you're vaccinated but cannot be validated or verified. Also, if you have signs and symptoms of COVID, or if you're a minor and the parent or guardian is unvaccinated, partially vaccinated, or have signs or symptoms of COVID. There is a great possibility that all these passengers will need a negative antigen test. Also, if you're fully vaccinated but your last dose was administered less than 14 days from the date of your travel to the Philippines. Let's move on to the lifting of the indoor mask requirement. Please take note that the indoor mask requirement is only optional. However, there are certain facilities or places where you will still have to wear indoor mask in the Philippines. First, you will be required to wear a mask if you are taking a public transportation such as a bus or a jeepney. In addition, indoor mask will still be required for medical facilities, which means healthcare workers and patients must still wear a mask. Now, indoor mask is highly encouraged for unvaccinated. Also, indoor mask is highly encouraged for those with comorbidities. Lastly, it is also encouraged for senior citizens. So senior citizens in the Philippines are those 60 years old and above. Now, let's move on to the other requirements. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to have a negative antigen test. Also, you must comply with the definition of a fully vaccinated individual. More than 2 weeks if you receive the 2-dose series, or more than 2 weeks for the single-dose vaccine. Here are the different classifications of passengers. For example, if you're a Filipino or non-Filipino, 18 years old and above if you're unvaccinated, partially vaccinated or the vaccination cannot be verified, you only need a negative antigen test within 24 hours prior to departure from country of origin. So it is like across the board for Filipinos and non-Filipinos. Now, the issue is for those fully vaccinated without booster shot. If you are 18 years and above, for Filipinos and non-Filipinos, you will need a negative pre-departure test. But moving forward, you will only possibly need a negative antigen test. But the government should remove this requirement if you're already fully vaccinated, even without the booster shot. So for fully vaccinated with booster shot, no testing or pre-departure negative test is required. Now for 12 to 17 years of age accompanied by parent, the current rule is that if you're unvaccinated, you must quarantine, but since there will be no more quarantine, you must have a negative antigen test within 24 hours. So there are still questions for those minor children accompanied by parents. Okay, for those 12 to 17 years of age, and if you're traveling alone, whether Filipino or non-Filipino, and you're unvaccinated, you will need a negative antigen test within 24 hours. Now, for those 11 years old and below, and accompanied by parent or guardian, if we are going to adopt the new rule, if the minor 11 and below is unvaccinated, it should follow the testing of the parent or guardian if they are unvaccinated. There are 4 acceptable proofs of vaccination in the Philippines. First, the yellow card or the World Health Organization certificate of vaccination. Second, VaxCert-PH if you are vaccinated in the Philippines. Another proof of vaccination is the national or state digital certificate of the country or foreign government which has accepted VaxCert under a reciprocal agreement. And another one, other proofs of vaccination permitted by the IATF of the Philippines. If you are fully vaccinated, at least 1 booster shot is enough to waive pre-departure testing to travel in the Philippines. For booster shot shall refer to doses administered to a vaccinated population that has completed a primary vaccination series when with time vaccine effectiveness has fallen below a rate deemed sufficient in that population as indicated in the EUA or Emergency Use Authorization issued by the FDA. Only 1 booster shot is required for you to be exempted from the pre-departure negative test. However, please confirm with your airline if the booster shot need to be taken 14 days before your travel date. However, booster shot should be effective immediately, but please confirm with your airline so you can be exempted. Here are the acceptable COVID vaccines in the Philippines. If you have any other questions or comments, please post them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Again, thank you guys for supporting my channel, and if you haven't liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I always welcome new subscribers. I hope everyone is staying safe and have a great day.